My name is Bud Humphreys. I graduated from Hurricane High School in 1958.
I'm Sadie Humphreys, and I graduated from Hurricane High School in 1957.
Hi, I'm Amy Humphreys. I graduated from Hurricane High School in 1983.
I took Chad Humphreys, class of '84, Hurricane High School.
My name's Tony Humphreys, and I graduated from Hurricane High School in 2007.
I was raised in Hurricane, Utah, just outside of St. George. The name Hurricane comes from locals mimicking the English settlers' way of saying hurricane. Hurricane has a population of just over 17,000 people. When I graduated in 2007, that number was closer to 10,000. Hurricane is in the shadows of Zion National Park. Every summer, the community is flooded with people from all over the world visiting this national park. Hurricane has one public high school, along with a private school called Diamond Ranch Academy, which is for troubled teens ages 12 to 18. According to PublicSchoolReview.com, Hurricane High School has, on average, 800 to 900 students a year, with a graduation rate of 89%. The 5 towns surrounding Hurricane make up Hurricane High School and Hurricane Middle School. Tokerville, La Verkin, Virgin, Springdale, and Apple Valley all come down to go to Hurricane Middle School. I found out there that I would have to work harder on my grades. I found school difficult and I found it hard to focus. I was diagnosed with ADD in early elementary, but until then I hadn't really noticed any difference. My sophomore year I took a class with Mrs. Richmond. She gave us a test at the beginning of the year to help her know where we were in math. There she found that I struggled in math. She started a program where me, as well as a few other students, worked on computers learning the subject better at our own pace. She didn't care how long it took. Her and her aide patiently worked with us every day to help us. My junior year I was put into resource classes to help me manage my time better with the study skills class. Basically, I had a class period to bring my homework in and get it done so that I didn't have to worry about it at home. I was also placed in a lower math class than the rest of my peers. I have always been a quiet person, but when this happened, I started to distance myself from my friends. I was fine being alone. I would go home for lunch by myself. I was embarrassed to tell anyone that I was in classes easier than what they had to take. So I felt. Now I realized that school was hard for me. If it wasn't for those classes, I probably would never been able to pass the class or even play baseball. During high school, I took in-school seminary. This is where I get to leave campus and attend classes solely to learn about my religion. I hated seminary. I took it because I felt like my parents would be disappointed if I didn't. I never thought how a student who may not be religious or who was not LDS may have felt. I did have a few classmates in my seminary classes that were not LDS but wanted to learn more or just wanted to attend class because their friend was in the class. Looking back, I can see now that for those not of my faith may have felt left out or bitter that we got to leave and to learn about our religion while they did not. Hurricane High School is 88% white, with the next highest race being Hispanic at 8%. I graduated with a class of about 120 students. Since I have graduated, Hurricane has torn down the building I attended and built a new school on our old football field. The only things remaining from the school building I went to is the front office, which is now the counseling center, the Aux Gym, as well as the theater, which was only a few years old when I entered high school. Baseball was where I exceeded. It was my escape from the world. When I was on the mound, nobody could bug me. Baseball was where I met different people. I would attend camps and play on travel ball teams and meet kids from different faiths, different races, and I even met a few kids from different countries while playing baseball. My senior year, I became close with a teammate that had a hearing impairment. He wore hearing aids, but his speech was affected by his hearing impairment. He just sounded different. We became throwing partners after we attended a camp together. The next year, he was a victim of a bullying incident. He ended up leaving school to go to a school in St. George. Since I have heard of this story, I have tried to work with players that I have coached to end bullying or hazing on teams I have been coaching. After my senior year, I signed to play baseball at Southern Virginia University. Like my high school, Southern Virginia was mostly white and mostly LDS. I attended school there for one semester. I struggled in school again and ended up hurting my shoulder, forcing me to leave school. After I returned home, I enrolled at Southern Utah University, but dropped out after a few weeks. School wasn't for me at the time. I was asked to help coach a couple years after graduating. At first, it was my way of giving back to the community. There I learned that Hurricane was still a small town school who cared deeply about their sports. I learned that the community has a lot of say in the school and its coaches. For a while, coaching was just something to do for some extra money. Soon, it became a preferred career path. In the spring of 2016, after being out of school for 8 years, I decided with the support of my wife and family to enroll back at SUU to get a degree in coaching. Since entering school, special education has piqued my interest, as I hope to help students that were like me, ones that think school is not for them, and help them see success in the classroom.